Get the red pill.
Exactly. But I went down to the green room, and I was I was still in the terrified stage of ghost hunting. Like, just being in a dark room by yourself, talking to yourself kind of creeped me out. But I was down there, and I had the EVP recorder, and I didn't go all the way down there. And I had the EVP recorder, and I was holding a session, and I was talking about, wondering if anyone's there. The typical stuff that when you first pick up a recorder and you first start asking questions,
you start asking. How does this thing work?
No.
Oh.
I knew how to work a recorder. But just like the typical stuff, like, is there anybody there? Do you want to communicate with me? And I think I said, is there anybody there, one more time. And when I was replaying it back, I caught my very first EVP, which was awesome and terrifying at the same time. And it was this Class A EVP that said, "Who's down here?" And then a big bang because someone dropped something up on the stage and terrified me.
There's Dixie University.
I've never been to any part of that may be haunted except for the auditorium.
I've been to the auditorium and I was in the library.
I've never been to the library. I've been to the auditorium. The library is supposedly haunted by, I think they call her the lady in the brown dress or something like that.
Something like that.
There's always some sort of lady in some sort of colored dress in all of these.
Usually how it goes.
But I've read about it.
She's in a purple-colored dress.
Not in a... Yeah. No, stop
bad.
it. That would have been bad.
That would have been very bad.
We could have easily, not have had a show tonight. Because Aaron doesn't know how to do stuff. Tell your experiences of the auditorium and the, What the crap? What are you talking about? The library.
In the library, it's freaking huge, dude. And, you just get a weird feeling that someone's there. Like when I was in there I think it was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
I actually went there. It was sophomore or junior year, one of the two.
Someone's phone vibrated.
Yours.
It was mine. Alright, continue.
And, like every time I would turn around, there'd be no one there, but I would still have that feeling that someone was watching me.
Yeah.
But there have been reports of, like, books flying off the shelf.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've also heard that there are...
Seeing the lady in the poo-poo.
Yeah, the lady in the brown dress or whatever. I don't know. I've never heard of it, but I've heard of it. I've just never experienced it.
The auditorium is just creepy as hell.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Because we even went down in the tunnel that goes to, like, the stage. I think there was a tunnel that goes to the stage. We were in, like I said, a long time ago, 27, sophomore, junior high school. I could barely remember my senior year.
I can't remember my senior year, probably because I blocked a lot of it out, so...
It's my junior year.
So those are your experiences there. Yeah. One story that I've heard about is the, what is it called? It's the old hospital up in,
That's you.
Hold on, we have a text.
Yay. Probably for something else. It's for something else?
No. A listener is telling me to recount his experiences, but I don't remember his experiences all the way, so I'm telling him to send them back to me because I don't remember them. Anyways, I heard that the old hotel up in Cedar City is very haunted. I know that they've turned it into a haunted attraction.
There's a lot of... I'm saying this with the quotation marks because we haven't really investigated anything over there. Haunted.
No, but I really want to.
Yeah. There's the Pizza Hut place.
Yeah, Godfather's.
Yeah.
Godfather's Pizza.
There's these old buildings that Southern Utah Paranormal have investigated. I want to go investigate them because they actually got a lot of pretty cool EVPs there.
Where at?
It's somewhere in Cedar. These old little houses that they ended up moving into Cedar.
Other places I have been. Okay, this is a cool one. Up in Salt Lake City, there is a,
Is it the 6662?
No, I've been there. That's not what I was going to talk about. There's a hotel called the Shiloh Inn. It's a crappy old hotel. When I was with someone else, my sister And my brother and me and my ex-girlfriend went up there, and we were trying to investigate it. You know, asking
How much time do we have left?
the people if they had heard of anything.
9 minutes.
You know, we get up there, we had read stories that there was a woman who went insane, and I think it was on the 3rd floor. 2nd or 3rd floor, I can't remember. I think it was the 3rd floor. But, she supposedly threw her children out of the window.
Holy
And then she jumped out of the window.
Really?
When we went to investigate, we went up to the 3rd floor, outside of the supposed rooms, and we did like EVPs. Didn't get anything, did an EVP in the elevator, didn't get anything. So we went down, and we wanted to talk to the front desk lady. And so we said, you know, we're amateur ghost hunters, we're here, we were wondering if you could tell us about what happened in the hotel. And if you have any experiences, can you tell them to us? And so she looks at my brother, because he was the one that was talking. She looks at him, and with a very, very straight face, she said, I'm not going to talk to you, because you're recording.
Really?
And so he went back and he talked to us, and he's like, well, she said she's not going to talk because we're recording. And I said, well, just, you know, slide the recorder into your shirt pocket or something so it makes it look like it's off.
Mm.
And he went back, and she said, I think this is what she said, I can't remember, but she said, we're not supposed to talk about what happened here. And he said, why? And she's like, because our management said that we're not supposed to talk to you about it. And then I think she said this, I can't remember if she did or not, I am not denying nor confirming that it's haunted.
Oof.
And then she asked us to leave. She's like, you guys have to leave now. And I was like, well, that was stupid. So if you ever want to investigate the Shiloh Inn Hotel, look up what rooms they are, book those rooms, and don't even tell them why you're there.
I'm down.
Because they will probably just throw you out or something.
Surprisingly, I've been to plenty of, like, paranormal hotspots, but none in really Utah.
Yeah, that's another one. We have a member who's from Helper. And
Is that an actual place?
Yeah,
Oh,
in
wow.
Utah, it's called Helper. I don't know if he's listening or not, but I want him, if he is, to tell us if he knows about anything in Spring Canyon and the White Lady. Wow, that was loud.
That was a big one.
We have a really, really long text messages from a member. He wants to share an experience that he got at the Maverick. That
Dude,
I pointed at your stomach
you went up.
like that.
Yeah, you fucker. Oh.
Steven.
Who said that?
Anyways, this person sent us a EVP, or not an EVP,
Tammy's gonna come out. Did you?
a message that says, I work grave, and then shadows would follow me, and one night I got off of swing and the headlights were blocked in my rear view mirror, and I looked, and there was a shadow figure against my rear window, and I remember I was going 40 miles an hour. Then a little boy with black hair and a gray shirt and jean shorts started appearing out of the corner of my eye, and the she appeared for a full minute, and he was pale and had no eyes.
Say no to drugs.
No, I think that's like demonic activity.
Surprisingly, I've really only had one demonic style thing happen on graves.
Really?
And that was like when I first started doing graves by myself. I was in the back where the sinks are, and I was filling up the bucket to do the yogurt machine.
Yeah.
And I heard either a demonic hi or bye. And like I thought someone was in the store, calling for me, so I went out and looked around. There's no one in the store.
Yeah.
I came back and I grabbed the bucket, and it felt like temperature in the room just got cold. I literally went out of that room.
Was it the back room?
Yeah. Where you had that cup fly at you.
Yeah, that was intense. What people need to understand is that particular Maverick has been there. I don't know how long it's been there. I know that it's been a Maverick since 1991,
Yeah.
though. So I heard it was a 7-Eleven before it changed to Maverick, so I really have no clue on how long it's been there. Let's see, other places I've been. Roy, I've never been up to Roy. I've been to Salina, wow, a couple of times.
Staying in Salina.
Devereaux Mansion.
Whoa.
I've never been there, but
Never
it's up
heard of
in Salt Lake. There's been sightings of an 8-year-old little girl who you can see in the upstairs window. People say that you can hear her humming, singing, or even talking to herself sometimes. Others say that she can be seen in pictures taken by visitors, and they say she looks like pictures on the wall that were taken in the 1850s.
We should see if we can investigate that.
They say that when she gets mad, she throws things on the ground, and she even shuts doors when they're left open. Workers say they feel cold spots sometimes when they walk in certain places.
We should totally see if we can investigate that place.
I don't know.
Be key.
I've heard stories about Gravity Hill. I know that
Never heard of it.
Tasia told me stories about that. I've been to Emo's grave.
Never heard of it.
Legend says that if you circle Emo's grave 3 times, chanting Emo, 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 when you approach the door to this mini mausoleum, look in the window, you can see Emo's face looking back at you. It says that it's actually the grave of Jacob Moritz, and the urn was shattered years ago by vandals, and that's true. It's
kind of.
It was shattered right there, Shiloh Inn.
It's kind of like the similarity with the witch's ball.
Yeah.
In the St. Louis Cemetery, which is where we caught me going boop, 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 without me even knowing that I went. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you still have that EVP. Wait, it's probably. What was that on?
That was on your recorder, but I have it on my computer. Remember, I did Penguin versus Rammstein.
Yeah.
But the rumor with that is if you circle the ball 3 times, saying like witch or something like that, she will appear, and it's only like 3 in the morning. That's when it happens.
I feel an investigation coming on Saturday.
But the weird thing is that about the ball always being hot.
Yeah, that's been confirmed because we went there at like 9 o'clock at night, and it was still hot.
It was pretty. It was a nice temperature outside. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. It was perfect. But that ball was pretty warm.
Really. Westminster College, right there.
Hey, there's Silver Reef. Where?
Silver Reef, just outside of Leeds, Old Catholic Cemetery. A young girl's ghost been seen. We talked about that.
Holy hell. No.
Voices of children asking to be taken home. Several people have had the feeling of being watched and heard footsteps in the old cemetery at night. I will confirm that we have seen the ghost of a young girl. Never had a child ask to be taken home.
We have at...
there has always been the feeling of being watched, and you do hear footsteps, because the dirt is really weird. It's really crumbly.
We even heard sound like a horse galloping.
Well, that's true.
And
that's like up at Pine Valley. Remember that night that we went up there?
And at Grafton, with the Indians.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were about to come and attack us.
Those are stories that are going to have to wait until we get back. Like I said, since we're starting to do like 1 hour since we're starting to do 1 hour shows now, it's going to take a second, but we are going to be back in just a second. So you guys stay tuned, keep listening, and we'll be right back.